TIFU by accidentally sending a dick pic to my stepsister instead of my girlfriend. She begged me to do it with her. We did it, and I loved it. Hey Reddit, it's Rupert here, and boy do I have a story for you. I'm not even sure where to start, but I guess the beginning is as good a place as any. So, a bit of background. I'm a 24-year-old guy, recently moved back home after graduating college. My dad remarried 2 years ago, and that's when I got a new stepmom, Charlene, and a stepsister, Blair. Blair is my age, and we've gotten along pretty well since we met. She's hot. There's no denying that. But I never thought much of it because, she's my stepsister. Now, I've been dating this amazing girl, Lavinia, for about a year. Things have been going great between us, and like any normal couple in a long-distance relationship, we've sent each other some risque pics from time to time to keep the flame alive. Well, last Friday night I was feeling particularly frisky after a few drinks and decided to send Lavinia a little surprise. I snapped a picture, hit send, and then my heart sank as I realized what I'd done. I had sent it to Blair instead of Lavinia. I double-checked my phone, hoping I was wrong, but there it was. Blair's name, plain as day. I freaked the fuck out. Blair texted back almost immediately, "WTF, Rupert?" I wanted to crawl into a hole and die. I didn't even know how to respond, so I just typed out the lamest apology ever. Something like, "OMG, I'm so sorry. That wasn't meant for you. Please just delete it." Her response, "Maybe I don't want to delete it." My brain short-circuited. What did that even mean? I had no idea how to interpret that, and I was too drunk and embarrassed to think straight. I put my phone down and tried to distract myself with a movie, but all I could think about was Blair and what the hell was going through her head. The next morning, I woke up with the world's worst hangover and the sinking feeling that I hadn't just imagined the whole thing. My phone had a notification. Blair had texted me again. I opened it, bracing for the worst. "Blair, we need to talk. Meet me in the garage." My stomach was in knots. I stumbled out of bed, threw on some clothes, and made my way to the garage, dreading what was coming next. When I got there, Blair was waiting, looking way too calm for my liking. "Rupert, what the hell was that?" she demanded, arms crossed and eyes locked onto mine. I sighed. "It was a mistake, Blair. I was drunk and sent it to the wrong person. I'm really sorry." She raised an eyebrow. "A mistake, huh? Well, I didn't delete it." "Why not?" I blurted out before I could stop myself. She smirked. "Maybe I liked it." I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. Was she messing with me? Was she serious? I had no idea how to react. "What do you mean?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. Blair stepped closer, and I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. "I mean, maybe I've thought about you like that before, and maybe I want to see where this goes." I was completely floored. My mind was racing, a million thoughts swirling around. This was Blair, my stepsister. This was wrong on so many levels, but a part of me, the part that had noticed how hot she was intrigued. Before I could say anything, she leaned in and kissed me. It was quick, just a peck, but it sent a shockwave through my body. She pulled back, watching me with those intense blue eyes of hers. "Think about it," she said softly before turning and walking away, leaving me standing there, dumbfounded. I spent the rest of the weekend in a daze. I couldn't get Blair out of my head. What she said, what she did, it was all I could think about. I tried to distract myself by hanging out with friends, playing video games, anything to get my mind off it, but nothing worked. By Sunday night, I was a wreck. Lavinia had been texting me, but I couldn't bring myself to respond. I felt guilty, confused, and turned on all at once. I knew I needed to talk to Blair again. Buon Sana to figure out what the hell was going on. I found her in her room, reading a book. She looked up when I knocked on the doorframe. "Hey," I said awkwardly. "Hey," she replied, setting the book down. "You've been avoiding me." "Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what to think." Blair patted the bed beside her. "Come here, let's talk." I sat down, feeling like a teenager again. She turned to face me, and for a moment, we just stared at each other. "Rupert, I know this is weird," she began, "but I meant what I said. I've thought about you like that before, and I think you've thought about me like that too." She wasn't wrong. I had noticed her. I had thought about her, but I never in a million years thought it could actually happen. "What about Lavinia?" I asked, feeling the weight of my relationship with her pressing down on me. Blair shrugged. "You have to decide what you want, but I'm here, and I want you." It was the most straightforward, honest thing anyone had ever said to me, and in that moment I knew I had to make a choice. I could ignore what happened, go back to Lavinia and pretend everything was normal. Or I could take a leap into the unknown with Blair. Consequences be damned. "I need to think," I said finally, standing up. "I'll let you know." She nodded, her expression unreadable. "Take your time. I'll be here." I spent the next few days in a fog, trying to sort through my feelings. I loved Lavinia, but the distance was hard, and Blair was right here. The idea of being with Blair was intoxicating, forbidden, and thrilling. I knew I couldn't keep stringing Lavinia along while I figured out my mess, so I called her up one night. "Hey, Lavinia, we need to talk," I started, my voice shaking. "What's wrong, Rupert?" she asked, sounding concerned. I took a deep breath. "I think we need to take a break. This long-distance thing is really hard, and I'm not sure it's working for me anymore." There was a long pause on the other end. "Is there someone else?" she asked quietly. I didn't want to lie to her. "Yeah, there is." "I'm really sorry, Lavinia," she sighed. "I had a feeling. I guess I was hoping I was wrong. Take care, Rupert." And just like that, it was over. I felt a mix of relief and guilt, but I knew it was the right thing to do. Lavinia deserved better than half of my attention. That night, I found Blair in the kitchen, making herself a sandwich. "Hey," I said, my voice trembling slightly. She looked up, her eyes searching mine. "Hey." "I broke up with Lavinia," I blurted out. "I want to see where this goes with us." A slow smile spread across her face. "I'm glad you chose me." She stepped closer, and before I knew it, we were kissing again, this time with more urgency, more passion. It felt like everything I'd been holding back was finally being released. We stumbled our way to my room, shedding clothes as we went. When we finally made it to the bed, it was like nothing else mattered. It was just us, lost in each other. The next morning I woke up with Blair in my arms, feeling a strange mix of happiness and dread. What had we done? What would our parents say? What would happen if anyone found out? Blair stirred beside me, a content smile on her face. "Morning," she murmured. "Morning," I replied, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "We really did it, huh?" She laughed softly. "Yeah, we did, and I don't regret it for a second." I kissed her forehead, feeling a warmth spread through my chest. Me neither. But reality was starting to creep back in. We couldn't keep this a secret forever. Sooner or later, we'd have to face the consequences. "Blair, what are we going to do?" I asked, my voice tinged with worry. She sighed, snuggling closer to me. "We'll figure it out. For now, let's just enjoy this." I nodded, trying to push the worries aside. We had something special. Something I never expected, and for the first time in a long time, I felt truly happy. As the days turned into weeks, Blair and I kept our relationship under wraps. It was exhilarating, sneaking around and stealing moments together. But the secrecy was also exhausting, and the fear of being caught loomed over us. One evening, as we were lying in bed, Blair turned to me, her expression serious. "Rupert, I think it's time we told them. We can't keep living like this." I knew she was right. It was time to face the music. We gathered our parents in the living room, nerves jangling like crazy. Charlene and my dad looked at us expectantly, oblivious to the bomb we were about to drop. "Mom, Dad, we need to tell you something," Blair began, her voice steady. "Rupert and I, we're together." The silence was deafening. My dad's face turned a deep shade of red, and Charlene's eyes went wide with shock. "What the hell are you talking about?" my dad finally spluttered. "We're in love," I said, taking Blair's hand. "It just happened, and we couldn't stop it." Charlene looked like she might faint. This is unbelievable. Your step-siblings?" "We know it's not conventional," Blair said, squeezing my hand, "but we're not blood-related. We're adults, and we've made our choice." My dad was livid. "I can't believe this. This is a fucking nightmare." Charlene put a hand on his arm. "We need to calm down and talk about this rationally." It was a long, tense conversation, but in the end, they reluctantly agreed to accept our relationship. It wasn't easy, and things were awkward for a while, but eventually everyone adjusted. Blair and I are still together, happier than ever. It was a wild, crazy ride getting here, but I wouldn't change a thing. Sometimes life throws you curveballs and you just have to roll with it.